Pretty bad call.
All right, I don't know. This is a rough draft, I'm sure,
Okay.
because I don't even have the title on this one.
Right.
But I'm going to share this one with you. I hope you like it. It was written 3 days ago. 3 days ago. 30 years ago. 30 years ago, 100,000 Chinese citizens blocked 10,000 Chinese soldiers from entering Tiananmen Square in Beijing because the Chinese people wanted to protect the miniature Statue of Liberty on display in Tiananmen Square because these people believed in freedom. I think back to the man who believed in peace, who went to Chinese prison, who became a Nobel Prize laureate for believing in peace, and I look back on what we now have, and now I think that we live in the lap of all we claim we want. I don't have to wonder, now that we feel comfortable in our freedom, do we know what freedom really means? And if we thought that our freedom was in jeopardy, would we know how to fight for it? Or, after all this time, would we remember what freedom really means?
Exactly, absolutely true.
Because they've lost it.
And we've got past it. That's why this is possible. As long as we're ignored, perfectly
as long as
I accept that.
This is another poem that I had written when thinking about Brian, which will be part of the trio of poems in the book.
Yes.
Pharaoh memes, haiku, Twitterverse, Instagram, and poetry. Because a lot of the poems throughout it have Instagram poems. Like I have a section of that last poem with an Instagram image. But this one doesn't have an Instagram image, it's just a poem, and it's called Ever Felt Safe. The safe word is gentleman. You see, I'm running out of safe words, and I can't use my favorite safe word over and over again. By the way, my favorite safe word is pomegranate, but there's only so many times you can get away with using that. The safe word is gentleman, and I try to remember what a gentleman is like, and I try to remember the last time I felt safe. I remember feeling safe in my self-proclaimed big city hometown. I also remember feeling safe when visiting New York. I don't know. For some reason, I always feel safe when I'm closer to both high-rises and derelicts.
Wow.
They say the safe word is gentleman, but the only time I ever felt safe was when I could truly find a gentleman in a big city. And they might not look like a gentleman. They might shave their head, they might wear a leather jacket and smoke and drink to oblivion.
Yes.
But that was my gentleman.
Yep.
So when you finally go back to find that just right someone, you realize they are gone. Where did they go? You wonder. And then you begin to wonder what oblivion looks like. And what was the safe word again?
No safe word. No safe word.
Then I would like to close up by reading 3 poems from the 26-year anniversary issue of cc&d magazine.
Well, that really first one you read, I was thinking about, and when you say fight for it, they decided not to fight. They decided to negotiate. And the problem is, if they negotiate with a willing partner.
Willing to negotiate.
Limits of negotiation.
Yeah. Which is where the challenge is, where you look for things every day, right? It's like, oh, I saw that one. So, but this is a morbidly dark, quiet cover. A Rose in the Dark is the 26-year anniversary issue of cc&d magazine.
She's more than that.
Well, it's because it's kind of titled A Rose in the Dark, so it seemed kind of fitting for that. I had this in my pocket all the time. Oh, it's terrible of me. And it's called A Rose in the Dark. And I looked for what 26-year anniversaries mean, because like it's silver for 25 years. But what is 26? And the other thing I could find was pictures. Pictures and chocolate, I think, was something like for giving gifts or something. Like, well, I don't have any chocolate, but I can find a lot of photos, and all of the photos that are scribbled on this with this big old rose and rose petals is photos that were actual covers of past issues of cc&d magazine.
Right.
A number of these were from anniversary issues. This one was a redesign issue, and that was an anniversary issue. And the one for going to Route 666 in somewhere in Pennsylvania, I just thought that was a cool looking picture, you know. They're also, yeah, there's a Route 66. I'm like, stop, I have to photograph
I know
that.
there's a 66, but is there a 666?
There's a 666 somewhere in Pennsylvania, we say. I'm like, I have to stop right there. And I can see really tiny. One of these was, I don't know, 22-year anniversary?
Right.
Where it was the graffiti park, where somebody put a big mural up and they wrote on the mural, respect our existence or expect our resistance.
Yeah.
And like, that's an anniversary cover. And that's one of the photos that's in here. So there's all these intriguing photos in this very dark thing. There are a lot of poems and prose in here about roses. So I took one of them for a title, and that's why it's A Rose in the Dark. So I'm going to share with you whopping three poems from this book for you. This first one is a short one, and it's called Ominous Day. And it's an Instagram poem. I talk about Instagram poems. This will also appear in that Instagram, in the Fair Memes book, because it'll have the big old image in with it of the poem and the picture. The short one's called Ominous Day. As a gladiator here, I proudly drew my sword and fought. I was revered in Pompeii, winning too many battles to count. But on one ominous day, when I saw Mount Vesuvius erupt, I drew my sword and charged into that mountain.
What is it?
It's just a story about a gladiator, and this is the Colosseum in Pompeii. And I thought, why not?
Why not?
Why not? This is a poem that no one has ever heard before. It is called Bamboo. He gave her the name of the bamboo near my home. This bamboo that I love, that grows so high, so strong. And I didn't want to care for this strange creature, even though he named her after something I love. But more than that, he gave her a name, and he made her more real than these bamboo trees. That made me look at her, and I wanted to give her food, water, though I had to learn that before she would accept anything from me, she would have to first come to me, feel my hands along her, giving her love before she would ever think of food. When
we have your offer ready, Gabriel. Your offer is ready, and I got it.
As he thought, maybe we should take her in, give her a home. And I thought, I know I love all, but I don't know if I can do this. You know how it is. You think of logistics. Can you really bring in another life in its final years? And just as he's breathless, so he was breathless again. And then he was heartbroken. So we'd bring out food day after day, give her extra water in the desert heat. And he said, next week, I'll do it, I'll bring her in. And we'd check on her health. So you actually bring her in and check on her health, and then we could actually keep her forever. Until this morning, we brought out food, and there was no sign of her. Not for minutes, not for hours. She might have been hiding in a bamboo. So we checked again, and a day went by and there was still no signs of her. So all we could do after then was toast to the bamboo that grew so proudly, so strong in our home, and contemplate the relationship that might have been.
Yeah.
About a stray dog. I was like, give her a ball to play with, and I threw a tennis ball, and she's like, and she grabs it, and she's like, I ain't bringing it back. And I'm like, I got this slappery ball. Okay, well, that's all right. Enjoy. This is from the Me Too section of the 23rd anniversary issue, and this is the last one I will share with you. And it is called Like Nothing Ever Happened. In Waco, Texas, a grand jury found enough evidence in the case against a man indicted on 4 counts of sexual assault to send the case to trial. Now, usually when a grand jury sends a case to trial, that usually means there's enough evidence to convict. But I just heard on the news that instead he pled no contest to one charge of unlawful restraint in return for the dismissal of 4 charges of sexual assault. With this plea from this fraternity president rapist, who had nothing to offer to the state in a plea deal, he gets this lower charge in exchange for counseling, a $400 fine, which is less than the fine for leaving a disabled car to get help, plus 3 years of probation. Added bonus, if he stays clean until probation's over, his records would be expunged. And this means that he would never be able to register he'd never have to register as a sex offender. It would be like nothing ever happened. This woman was repeatedly raped, strangled, and left for dead down in the dirt. She was brought to the hospital where they called the police. There's an enormous amount of evidence. A conviction was almost sure.
Who's they? Who called?
The people from the hospital.
Right.
4 counts of sexual assault. And they treat it like nothing ever happened. Women think that we've shattered the glass ceiling, but we still have to shatter the mentality that women are objects and rape is not a crime. We try to plead our cases, but nothing ever happens. Maybe we women should shatter more than ceilings, but also shatter men's mentality. Maybe we should even shatter a few of your bones, the way you shatter our souls with every act of rape. Shattering your bones wouldn't even cross the line you rapists cross with your misogyny and your violence. Is that what we're left with? Is this what we have to do? Should we start to get down as low as you to start to try to even the score? If we're not equal, then maybe it's our turn to exact our revenge.
No.
It's frightening.
I know, but we had last night at DSA Poetry, the feature poet was like a rape counsellor and
Yeah.
like a chaplain as well.